So, after a little break, I decided to return to videos. E3 gave me a little bit of gaming fatigue, so I decided not to make any more E3 videos for this year, 2019. But I have decided today to talk about something that is very near and dear to me, my Sony PlayStation 1. Not only that, but it is actually 20 years old this year. And more importantly, or I should say more extraordinary, I have used my Sony PlayStation 1 on a nearly daily basis for the past 20 years. And this was one, I had one before this, and I got this one. This one has lasted me 20 years on a daily basis. I kid you not. So here's the story about it. So I received this as a gift from my parents in 1999. I had owned one previously, and it was an earlier model, and it went kaput pretty fast. But something about this model was just really hardy. Let me explain. Like I said, I've had this 20 years. I've used it on a nearly daily basis with the exceptions of vacations or being sick or in the hospital. But every time I'm home or have been home, I've played it, whether I've played it to listen to audio CDs or to play it to just play games on it. But I play it every day. I have Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch. I at least play this one every day. And what's really strange about it is how it's lasted 20 years without breaking or having to replace any parts internally on it, or externally for that matter. The only things I've had to replace on it is, over time, the power cord, the AV cable, and of course the controller. Now the controller you see here, I have owned for about 2.5 years. Since 1999, I've went through, this is probably controller number 6. It originally came with a DualShock controller with the analog sticks. That was the first controller. It lasted, I think, maybe the first 8 or 9 years, and then I moved on to a couple Mad Catz controllers, and then my last one before this one, I got this one 2017, like I mentioned. It was a controller made for one of the slim models, which I own a slim model. Actually, I have a slim model that has the screen with it, which I'll feature in a future video. But the controller was just like a really bright white one, and I had that one, and it didn't last too long. It ended up breaking, so I went back to basics and got the traditional, original, launch controller. And to be honest, I like it a lot better than the ones with analog sticks because it just feels more natural to me, as a Sony fan, I guess you could say. But to be honest, I'm really glad that I've had this for 20 years, and I actually may get another one, a brand new old stock PlayStation 1 for Christmas this year. I'm going to try to order myself one as my own gift and do like a 20th anniversary kind of thing in honor of it. We'll see if that happens. Probably not, but we'll see. Now you can tell it's yellowed, and from age, a lot of people say, oh, it's yellowed because your parents smoked. Actually, no, they did not. The reason it's yellow is probably because of the type of heat that we used in our house. When I was growing up, we used gas stoves, natural gas stoves, and that's probably what caused it to turn like a yellowish color like that. I mean, I'm not a perfectionist. I don't care what color it is as long as it still plays. It's my original controller. Or, not controller, I'm sorry. My original console. It's my original console. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I have a pretty good PS1 collection from over the years. When I first had it, I mostly had demo discs like you'd get from PlayStation Magazine or like Pizza Hut when they gave out demos. And I would play those for one demo disc would last me a good 3 to 6 months before I moved on to something else. But I didn't really start collecting a lot of PS1 games until around 2016/2017, around that era. And my collection is getting pretty big, which we'll probably do a video on that within the next few months, if not few weeks. Depends on how I feel. But the secret of how I've got it to last this long is, I think everybody should do this if you've had one last this long. Some may have had one that's lasted longer, but I've used mine on a daily basis, so I think that trumps all there. But the secret is I use a disc cleaner on it. Every 6 months to a year, it cleans the, I guess you'd say the lens, the laser on the inside. And then I leave a disc in it at all times. And that shields it from dust and whatnot, particles from getting in it. So that's pretty much the secret of that. I may take it apart and do a deep cleaning of the shell. I haven't decided yet. That may be coming soon. So that is my 20-year-old PlayStation 1. Do you have a console you've made last this long, or you've used on a daily basis and it still works? You may have an original Nintendo or a Super Nintendo you've used on a daily basis that still works. My PlayStation 1 I've used on a daily basis for 20 years. Still works. Compared to those sucky slim PlayStation 2s, which I bought one and it worked for about 9 years. Bought it in 2006. Worked for 9 years, suddenly stopped working. So that's build quality for you. But my PlayStation 1 made it last 20 years. So tell us in the comments down below, have you had a console you've played on a daily basis and made it last for 10 or more years? Tell us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want notifications of when we do more awesome videos. And until next time, when we talk about something pretty awesome in gaming, I'll see you.